we're going to talk about the worst decisions that are made by Harry Potter. I have a list of 10 examples, but there are more. I'm sure there are. In fact, there are, but I picked 10. I mean, yes, Harry was brave and, you know, he did a lot of good and things, but there are some things that he did not think about before doing these actions that he did. And some things just didn't make sense on why he would do some things that he did. So if you want to hear this list of Harry's top 10 worst decision making, if that made any sense, then keep on watching. And if this is the first time you've seen my face, hello and welcome to my channel. If you would like to become a part of Poppet with us, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. All my social medias are linked in the description of this video. Go see what I'm up to on those. And guys, I'm trying my hardest to get to my next big milestone of 2,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. And also, I just want to give a massive thank you to my Patreons. They help me keep this channel running just that little bit more. If you'd like to know a little bit more about Patreon, the link to that is also in the description of this video. But let's talk about Harry's decision making. Worst decision number 1, okay? Sectum Sempra. Need I say any more? Okay, so he found a spell in the advanced potion book that was obviously owned by the Half-Blood Prince at one time, aka Snape, spoiler. And next to the spell written in there, it said something like it was for use on enemy or something along them lines, but we knew from what it said that you could use it on an enemy. Now, Harry knew nothing about this spell. He didn't look this spell up, obviously. Snape made this spell, but he didn't know, the point is he didn't know what this spell did. So what did he do? He got annoyed. I'm wrecking the place, I'm that mad. So what did he do? He was annoyed, I nearly swore, he was annoyed with Draco one day in the bathrooms and thought, oh, that spell, Sectum Sempra. I mean, come on, Harry, we knew that spell wasn't going to be a nice spell because it was for use on enemies. So one, you decide to be curious and use that spell within the school itself, which is stupid, and then use this spell on a boy that is the son of a Death Eater and a massive, massive follower. Not just a follower, but he's definitely like one of Voldemort's close minions. He decides, what? Let's just anger it a little bit more, shall we, Harry? So yeah, for me, that is definitely in a top 10. You don't know, Harry, think, Harry, think. Number 2, stealing Arthur Wheeler's Number 2, stealing Arthur Weasley's flying car. Yes, this was a joint act between Harry and Ron, but Harry was involved. That was completely reckless. So in the Chamber of Secrets, Harry obviously got visited by Dobby. Dobby didn't want him to go back to Hogwarts, and obviously, as we know, spoiler, if you don't, the entrance on platform 9 3/4, Dobby had sealed it so that Harry couldn't get through, and obviously because Ron was with him, Ron couldn't get through. So they bump into the wall at platform 9 3/4, obviously there's mayhem, people are looking and everything, and obviously Harry's like, sorry, we lost control of the trolley. And then there's just this bright idea of stealing Ron's dad's car enters Ron's head, and Harry's like, yeah. Any normal person would have been like, we'll just wait here, wait for the parents, we'll wait here and we'll get sent to Hogwarts. But no, 2 children decide to go drive a car, not just drive a car, but fly a car. Not once did it ever occur to me as a child, not that I've been in a situation, but I know it would never have occurred to me. It's okay, I'll drive my dad's car. Stupid, stupid, stupid thing to do, boys. Number 3, this one kind of made me laugh a bit when it happened, but at the same time, it wasn't good, Harry. So in the Order of the Phoenix, obviously the Room of Requirement comes in, and it's being used for Dumbledore's army, so that Harry can teach Dumbledore's army students that want to join the army thing. You know, he teaches them some defensive spells just so that they can protect themselves, and they're building an army, obviously. Well, in one of the scenes when they were leaving for Christmas, Cho went over and there was a picture of Cedric. She's having a moment. Harry decides to go and talk to her because they're he found a chance to talk to her alone. Poor Cho is having a moment about Cedric. She's really missing him and she's talking to Harry about it. Obviously, Harry was there when he died and everything. But what does Harry do? Of course, he completely shuts her down by kissing her. Harry, she's having a moment. She's really emotional. She's lost her boyfriend. It was a real wrong move, Harry. I mean, she was going to kiss him back. She was getting attention. She was feeling down. She wanted affection. So she was going to kiss him back. And Harry knew this, didn't he? He knew what he was doing. Not smooth, Harry. Not smooth. Okay, so during the second task of the Triwizard Tournament, obviously Harry and the other champions are in the Black Lake saving something that's theirs. Obviously, they realised that it was actual people, witches and wizards, when they got to the area. But Harry decides to save two, of course. So Harry risked, you know, getting first place and everything because he wanted to be the hero. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But first off, when the beer people come over and like, you can only take one. Obviously, he was wanting Ron and Hermione. And then obviously turned to the mer people and was like, but they're both my friends. He would have known that Ron was his to take and Hermione was Crumb's to take. And obviously Crumb came over as a shark, got Hermione and whisked away. He was trying to get obviously Ron untied and then noticed that Fleur's sister was still tied. Looking round, can't find Fleur anywhere. So what does he do? He tries to save Fleur's sister as well. I am not saying that this is a bad thing. You know, he wanted to save Fleur's little sister. It's a lovely thing. But did he honestly think, right? Did he honestly think Dumbledore was going to let any of them in the water die? I don't think so. Ideally, Harry should have got Ron, the person that he was supposed to save, get to the top and announce it. That Fleur's sister is still down there. But no, he had to play the hero again. I'm going to say it again. It's not a bad thing, but he had a champion place to fill. I just can't. Bad decision number 5. Not letting Lupin, I forgot his name then, Lupin and Sirius kill Peter Pettigrew in The Prisoner of Azkaban. So picture the scene. Lupin and Sirius has got Harry, Ron and Hermione on Sirius's side and Lupin's side, right? So they know now that Peter Pettigrew is bad, right? Peter Pettigrew has now been transformed from Scabbers back to his ugly self and gross self. And Sirius and Lupin have their wands pointed at him and they are ready. They are ready to get rid of this person. But what does Harry do? He steps in and he's like, no, we'll take him to the castle. And then he tries to be all clever because Peter Pettigrew's obviously saying, thank you. Then Harry gets all sassy and he's like, get off! The Dementors can get you there. It's like, why? Why would you risk this, right? Peter Pettigrew has hidden himself for 12 years. He's obviously cunning and everything, right? I nearly said Slytherin, but obviously Peter Pettigrew was a Gryffindor. But he's obviously cunning. He should have been a Slytherin. Slytherins aren't bad. I'm just saying the cunning side to things. Obviously, that's one of Slytherin's traits. That's all I meant, all right? Don't jump on me, Slytherins. I actually love Slytherins. Quite a lot of my close friends are Slytherins. But he was clearly... He had a mind, like, he had a brain, he was a little bit clever, I don't want to big him up or anything. But obviously, he got away with it for 12 years. So they had to leave the Shrieking Shack, back through the passage, through the Whomping Willow, and up to the castle. I wouldn't have risked that. Nobody would have known that Peter Pettigrew had died that night. Nobody would have known. Saying that as well, why did Lupin and Sirius listen to Harry? You know, Harry's a child. Sirius could have said, you know, I am your godfather, I know what's best for your child. Get out of the way. Avada Kedavra. But no, I'm wrecking the place again. I'm knocking things off again. But no, of course they're going to listen to the child. Of course. Of course. Number 6, the taboo on Voldemort's name. So from day one of Harry being aware of Voldemort, he never was afraid to say his name. Obviously, Hermione said fear of the name only increases the fear of the thing itself. Yes, that's true, but Harry just thought he was clever. This video makes it look like I hate Harry Potter. I don't hate Harry Potter. There was just a few things that needed tweaking, Harry. A few things. But obviously, in the end, a taboo was put on Voldemort's name, so whenever his name was said, the Death Eaters would come along and get these people. So, because from the start Harry wasn't afraid to say his name, it ended up getting them in trouble, because obviously he said his name, the catchers came. Catchers? No. What were they called? You know what I mean. But they came, swiped him off, and obviously ended up in Malfoy Manor. I mean, yes, if this didn't happen, they wouldn't have found Luna and Mr. Ollivander. Do you know what I mean? But Dobby's life could have been spared. Dobby, he could have been spared. But yeah, as much as there was good reasons for Harry to have said the name and be captured because of Luna and that were imprisoned in there, they didn't know they were in there. The fact of the matter is, he said Voldemort's name again because he's just silly and reckless sometimes. Number 7, not taking occlumency very seriously. Now, obviously, Dumbledore put Snape to work to try and help Harry. Snape was going to do, obviously, to Harry what Voldemort was doing, getting into his mind, and Harry had to resist. Snape had to teach him to resist Voldemort getting into his mind. Harry doesn't like working with Snape. Snape's not keen on Harry either, but Snape was going to do this to help Harry. But Harry, being who he is, in the end, he wasn't interested. And because of this, he got tricked. He got tricked in going to the Ministry of Magic that night, and because obviously he was shown fake news of Sirius being hurt, because he just didn't listen. Oh my gosh, Harry. And he was letting him in. He was curious and everything. And it was like, no, you are a child. You do not know. You don't know. You don't know Voldemort like these people do. But then obviously that night Sirius loses his life because he went to save Harry out of the trap Harry had got himself in. So Sirius died when he didn't need to. Harry! Now, Dobby, Sirius, come on, Harry. I think you need to start thinking about what you're doing. Think about your decision making. Not only that, while we're on the matter of that night, when Harry saw the prophecy, he saw his prophecy, right? He doesn't know what this crystal ball does. He doesn't know, right? He doesn't know what it does at all. And he was warned not to touch it. But just because it's got his name, he picks it up. He picks it up, which was another part to the trap, because only the owner of the orb, or the people that obviously work within there, can touch them. And there was a trap, because then he was able to pick it up, and they all came to take it off him, because he'd already picked it up. What an idiot, as Hermione would say. Number 8, not taking Tom Riddle's diary to a professor. Now, in the Chamber of Secrets. What is wrong with me today? I keep knocking stuff off. My words are a mess. I think it's because we've gone into lockdown again today. It's a mess. So in the Chamber of Secrets, Harry comes across Tom Riddle's diary. Obviously, at first, he doesn't know it's Tom Riddle's diary, but he takes it back and he starts writing it, doesn't it? And obviously, it starts talking back to him, which is weird as it is, and obviously has some sort of magic within it. This diary then pulls him into the book and shows him a fake scene of Hagrid, like pointing that Hagrid opened the Chamber of Secrets, which we all know didn't happen. So obviously Harry's like, I'll sort this out myself. I mean, this diary talked to him. It pulled him through the pages. This diary is quite obviously powerful. You would think, I mean, I personally would have gone straight to a professor, but you would think he would have thought, right, hang on a minute, this needs looking into, and gone to Dumbledore, McGonagall, somebody, maybe gone to Hagrid himself to talk to him about it, because then Hagrid could have took it off his hands, took it up to the school and been like, whoa, what is this about? But no, not only does he decide to keep the diary, he then goes further as a child to go slay a basilisk. I mean, obviously he won, but there was chance. He was helped, and yes, he was brave, he's true to his house and everything. There are certain moments Harry should have spoke to adults. Number 9, snapping the Elder Wand. When I saw that scene, this literally was me. He is there, right? The owner of this very powerful wand. And he snaps it. Right, okay, I get it. He snaps it because this wand has, obviously there's murder attached to it, things like that. I get it. But Harry now was the owner of this wand. He could have made good out of that wand. But no, he snapped it. Because of the reckless decision making again, Harry. Why did you snap it? A lot of people say it. Why? And the last one, number 10, when Harry accused Katie Bell. No, when Harry accused Malfoy of cursing Katie Bell. I mean, okay, I'll hand it to him. He is not wrong. He's not wrong. He got it down to a T. He got it right. But it was the way he did it. It was his decision to say it there and then. You know, McGonagall and Snape was there as well, obviously. They were really baffled at what has just happened. It had literally just happened, okay? And they're there staring at this necklace. And then Harry's like, it was Malfoy. No, Harry, you said that with so much sass and meanness towards Malfoy. Okay, I know you don't like him. I know you don't. But you're just making yourself look like you're accusing someone just on the spur of the moment. Well, I think it was Malfoy because everybody knows you've got a problem with him. Now, Harry, if you're listening, dear, what you should have done, right, listen to Susie, because Susie thinks rationally. You should have waited for McGonagall and Snape to finish their conversation. Let Snape go, or if McGonagall leaves first, follow McGonagall. No matter what, you should have followed McGonagall. And then you should have took McGonagall over to the side and explained, not just spouted that it was Malfoy, like the way you did. You should have said something along the lines of, look, Professor McGonagall, I have a feeling that Malfoy was the one that cursed Katie Bell, but let me explain why. Let me give you my reason why. And then they could have had an adult conversation, like Harry thinks he's an adult throughout this series. They could have had an adult conversation about it. McGonagall would have looked a bit further into it. But no, he spouts just like that. It was Malfoy. Malfoy cursed her. Or whatever he said, I can't remember. But he spouted it out just suddenly. And obviously, McGonagall was like, that's a serious accusation, Harry. That was so bad. Stop with the impressions. And then, of course, Snape was like, indeed. Okay, was it indeed that he said? I can't remember. But you know what I mean. That was also a bad impression. I'm really sorry. But yeah, that's what should have happened, Harry. If you're listening. If you need advice, feel free to get in touch with me on my social medias. They're linked in the description, Harry. Feel free. Yeah, that's the end of my top 10 worst Harry Potter decisions. What did you think? Can you add any more? Can you agree with any of these? Do you think that then some of these weren't bad decisions? Let me know in the comments. You know how much I love to talk to you all. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a big thumbs up for me because it helps me more than you know, and I will speak to you in my next video. Bye, Poppets.